sports in America is ran by money, right? It's money that is running AAU. Money, teams after teams. Like it's a money grab, right? If it wasn't for this money grab, he wouldn't even have a job.
Hey.
Because there wouldn't be him. There's no college. Overseas don't have college, right? It's pro, right? So there's no high school. You come into a club league, which is a pro league. So he wouldn't even be talking because he wouldn't even be a part of this. He would have to try to find out how to get a club team or be a pro team. And that's really the problem with sports in America. It's money driven, so everybody's trying to figure out how to get as much money out of the kids, out of their talent, at every stage. Middle school, high school, college.
Mm-hmm.
And that's really what the actual problem is. The factor of hours, right? That's on you, coach. AAU, you can, why can't you coach your players for 12 hours a day, 6 hours a day?
Right.
Because if you're charging, who do they charge? For $100 a month? $200 a month?
For AAU?
Yeah.
I feel like that bread is...
Yeah,
shit, they charging $20 to park at these joints. Like,
I mean, I'm not even talking about the tournament.
I'm just saying.
I'm talking about just the just for that program.
Yeah.
Right? You're for paying $200 for the month.
Like 600, it's like
600 for the month. Damn. 600 for the month, right? For the one player. Why would I want to practice you 6-7 hours when I can just do the 1 hour with you twice a week, once a week, right? And get the same $600, right? Like it's the job. It's the hours versus the income, right? If you really are dedicated about this shit, right? No matter what the number is, you're gonna dedicate it to your program where I'm gonna be training these kids 6-7 hours a day after school, because obviously we have school.
Yeah.
But that's the scholastic part of it, though, and that's what he's basically saying. Like, you go to academy or you can do some of the club stuff overseas, your school is basketball.
Yes, yes.
Mm-hmm.
So what you're saying, you're literally saying, like, if I stayed out of state or out of the city from where my team is, my AAU team, I'm not going to be able to have access to that 6-hour practice. You know what I'm saying? I can only come when I can come, right? So what I believe he's saying is when you talk about the access to the coaching year-round, all 12 months, it's better than just the AAU allowing the kids to just do whatever uncoached and really just do what you want. That's showing the discipline from the players, between the European players and the American players, because it's individualized now. If you're in a college and you're chasing money through NIL, you're not thinking about the team and the access of how the coach coaches. You're thinking about how I'm gonna get my bread. Do I have enough skill to showcase my talent to get the bread? Now he's looking like, all right, overseas, they all thinking about team. It's all team.
No, they're all thinking about trying to make the pro team.
That's what I'm saying. So, but you gotta fit in to the team aspect overseas. That's why they practice so long and they don't play pickup without another coach being there to be like, hey.
So how's that the player's problem? That's the coach's problem.
Over here is the player's problem because we don't have the coaches that are dominating.
No, we don't have the coaches that's like, if I'm paying you $600, period, right? You have two choices. You can train me for an hour, twice a week, or you can train me for 5 hours, 7 days a week. Which one are you gonna do for the 600?
Well, let's just not even talk about AAU, talk about college. If the coaches are only allowed to practice you 3 hours because of the restrictions, overseas, I don't have to go to college, they got us 12 hours. Instead of those 3, they got 12, just by rules and regulations on what we do as American players. So they got an advantage because they got year-round, all-day coaching when we only got 3 hours just by rules.
Well, the rules, then they need someone that's smart enough to understand what rules are and know how to bend them. Yeah, I have 3 hours as a team. There's no rule on individuals. So I can train, after the 3 hours is up, I can train you and you together for another hour. Train these two for another hour. Train these two for another hour. I can train my same team individually, 2, 3 at a time, as long as it's not a team.
And it's like 4 players at a time.
Yes.
It can't be more than 4 players.
Yeah, there's a like that, like if you are wanting to be a coach and you really about that shit, then stop using that excuse because they're not using it. Kobe Bryant, right? His Mamba team, they trained 7 days a week for 3 hours every single day. If you miss one practice, you're not starting. It wasn't, obviously, it's not about money for him. It's about training.
Yeah.
Right? It's not about money. It's training. I'm trying to get these girls better.
Yeah.
Right? We are handicapped because, one, we're privileged here, so we're not that good.
Right.
We're not that good. So we have to really build our talent up. So he made the girls practice every single day, 3 to 4 hours a day. Now, if you're a program out here, there's some programs that they don't even practice. I just call you on game day.
Right.
Right? That's our problem. It's money oriented.
Well, that's what I'm saying, because if Kobe's the coach, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he's the leading trainer of the program, then there's no drop-off.
Mm-hmm.
So what we've done in America is we've put all the onus on the trainers, and then you get the player, the coach gets the player after the trainer, and we're expecting this player to be coachable. I haven't touched him yet. He don't know what I want. He don't know we don't know nothing. That's what he's saying. He's like, I only get him for 5 months? So it's like out of those 5 months.
I didn't know his job stops after 5 months.
Right. So what do y'all think is
huh?
So what do y'all think is hurting basketball? Is it high school? Is it college? Is it AAU? Like, what do you think is hurting us in America? Because whatever's hurting us, I think we should just take it out then.
Scholastics.
Or address it.
No, I think take it out. If college basketball is hurting, then take it out. I think school should just be for school, and we should start basketball academies out here. Then.
So let me ask a question for all three of y'all, though.
Let's just do that. So you ain't got to play for your high school coach.
But that's what I'm saying. America's ran about money, so it's trying to figure out how we can get the most money out of everybody, right? If we take out school, for the athlete, think about how much money
they're losing. School.
Everyone's losing.
Yeah, school.
Oh, I mean, everybody don't do sports.
Enrollment.
I mean, everybody can't play basketball. I mean, that stuff overseas, you got to be good.
Yeah,
Ricky Rubio was, you know.
Now think about it. When you go to the clubs, right? Think about clubs, right?
Yeah.
The celebrities, the people with the money, don't pay.
Right.
It's everybody else.
Right.
AAU basketball, the elite.
The good kids don't
They
pay.
paid you. So for me to pay you, who I got to get the money from?
Them. On the outside. Same with
So
college.
I got to create a bronze team, a silver team. So I got to create all these sorry-ass groups of kids and parents to make up for money. So the money is not from the elite. So like over there, their elite team, yeah, they not paying. It's the other 100 that just want to be a part of a program.
Yeah.
Right, that's where they're getting their money from. You take that out.
So,
That's the question.
question for all three of y'all. When you look around, you talk about clubs and the club aspect. Should NBA teams have their own youth development program? Should it be kind of like the club model overseas where like, look, the Lakers, we identified the best kids in this area and now we have our own squad that we're training and building to become pros?
Nah, that's since shoe programs want to be so involved, and I've talked with Adidas with this, right? Where y'all should mimic overseas and have your own academies.
Yeah.
Where you identify what top tier talent looks like at an early age, the potential, and you guys are inviting them.
Okay.
Like they get an invite for your facility. There's no politics involved, no names, no money. You can't buy your way into none of this shit.
It's earned.
Right? It's your talent.
That's cool.
Right? So if I have the facility that's just IMG, right?
Yep.
And I'm Nike, I'm Adidas. I can pick the players I want. You get invited here. You get free board, free education, free everything.
Yep.
And I'm training you to be. So now I already have the pipeline. These are my Adidas kids. So when they make it, this is same thing with Nike, same with Under Armour, right?
Yeah.
You have to identify with the talent first.
Yep.
Right? If you want the change, right? It's not, I can't, my kid, he has to be able to make that team.
Yeah.
Right? Y'all have the tryouts, he makes it. But for you to get in the tryouts, you have to be invited.
Huh.
So it's a privilege.
Yes.
It's a privilege.
Just like Nike camp.
Yeah, it's a privilege. It's not low. Yeah, you know, your daddy played for Adidas, so you
We don't care.
and you averaging 5 points. No, none of that shit works. Your name, this ain't no name thing.
Yeah.
And I've talked to my Adidas rep and said, that's the evolution.
Yes.
The evolution is when you shoe companies need to start creating your own hub and your own system where the Scoot Hendersons and all of those, you can identify with them and you're pulling them in. You have those kids from 11, 12, 15, whatever. You have them and you're just really, you're giving them the free education. You're giving them all that. So money, like now it makes a parent really want to, like high school, I really want my kid to be there for the free education. It takes a lot of pressure off of me.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah, and parent go home. And the parent go home.
It takes,
Damn,
and
go
it takes
home.
away the paying. I ain't paying you. What I need to pay you for when I'm giving you something. You want your son to be put in this fast track machine? I'll say, now you saving money on your bills. He's being fed and treated and he's becoming a pro. I don't need to pay your bills and do all that. None of that.
Yeah.
It takes all that money and paying and NIL, fuck all that.
Yeah, no,
Right?
no. If you care about the kid,
Yeah, but what happens if that kid doesn't pan out?
they just don't pan out.
He got a free high school education.
I talk about this in my book. The same exact model he talking about right now. Sports education programs outside of the colleges. But the one thing that I didn't touch on was the sponsors, who the sponsors would be. So imagine Adidas being the main sponsor of a sports education program that literally take you to this hub, this facility, train you just like OTE. OTE without a sponsor. That's all it is. Now you put Nike or Under Armour. Now what happens is you bringing in your product. This is your product. This Wemby is attached to Adidas. He comes into the NBA as the #1 pick. They picked him from your batch. Like, oh, we got Adidas guys. Look at these Adidas guys. Look at these Nike.
Right, like over.
But it's over time, more structure and more discipline in the talent you choose.
Yeah.
Because all the kids at overtime are not NBA players. They're not even prospects.
Okay.
Right, for the most part. Some of those guys, you're like, why is this guy? Like you know, I know they're just trying to start their league up, so they're trying to pull as many kids that want to come there. But for the most part, as a parent, you bringing me your kid, fuck off. I'll come to you.
Yeah, because we need your kid.
You can't bring me your kid. That's not how this works.
And they got
You can't bring me your kid. I'll give you like USA Basketball, I'll give you an invite.
Yeah.
And then y'all come and we're gonna try out and we're gonna see what's discipline. That's how this works. It's not you come in and you drop your kid off and how much money I get.
the babysitting shit. But they got education programs at OTE too. They don't talk about that.
No,
they cover the whole basis.
No, they do everything. They just don't have a selective program where they're selecting.
Right.
Should it be more geared when you talk about these type of programs? I think that's the issue with college, right? You take a bunch of general education classes and shit that's not going to really benefit you long term, where people don't have financial literacy classes and that type of stuff. They don't know how to balance a checkbook or account for their bread or do all the simple shit that these high-level professional athletes really need to learn. Like, you're not going to learn shit in an earth space science class or whatever it is on college campus. Versus now, if you can go to a situation like this and get that side of it as well.
Yeah, I mean, you're training them to be professionals early, right? A professional ain't being trained to be a professional until he's a professional now, right? I don't know nothing. I mean, come on, think about it. You know, you go into the NBA. What do you know about the NBA? What do you know about money? What do you know about anything? Nothing. You're learning it as you go.
Yeah.
Right. The only people who have an advantage in the NBA is usually white players and kids of NBA players.
Yep. But think about
right? You know, Steph will have an advantage. Steph, Clay, they will have an advantage over the norm because their parents already been through it. They've already grew up in that type of environment, so they don't really want for nothing but their greatness.
Think about, you got medical school, law school, business school. We don't got a school of sports. We don't got a school where the athletes go when they don't go to their goal, they don't finish that ultralight that they wanted to go for, and then they have something to fall back on. Like the post-grad school, this is what I created in my book that I'll talk about, is when you finish school, where's your plan A, plan B, plan C? But that's us trying to be analysts, broadcasters, sports medicine, all the personal trainers, all those things inside of the hub. So we don't leave the hub to try to go be something other than what we came to school for. We came to school for hoop. So where is the school of hoop? We need to create the school for hoop. And if we don't create it within our own hubs, facilities like Adidas or OTE, where we come here to hoop, I want to focus on hoop, whether it's broadcasting, whatever it is, but it's hoop. So it's like we're forgetting about those sides when we talk about the international game because that's what they focus on.
Yeah.